Okay, it has been a minute since we covered Ondo Finance, but with everything going on right now with the trade wars, and more importantly, the view of, well, we quoted this on my live stream, 2025 being the biggest ever issuance of assets from the federal government. Well, Ondo seems pretty well positioned to make a big move. We're going to break down some key announcements coming out of Binance, and more importantly, a 24/7, 365 days a year access to, well, guess what? Tokenized stocks and ETFs. Ondo definitely right now a very undervalued cryptocurrency. Let's break it down and give you the updates of what you need to know if you're invested in this coin. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. Let's get into it. So it's been a minute, like I said, and since we last covered Ondo Finance, it's always been a key part of my portfolio. I still hold Ondo Finance. In fact, I actually bought some more in the more recent dip down to 75,000, and I think there is some big moves ahead. Why? Because you've got a big move from Binance, and once again, those tokenized assets being able to be traded 365 days a year, all through Ondo Finance. So let's break down exactly what's happening with Binance. They're transferring more than a dozen cryptocurrencies from their alpha account, i.e. the new ones that come to Binance that they're not really too sure about, but then going to transfer to the spot account, giving everyone the opportunity to get hold of this. Now, generally exchanges will list futures as an example. Why? They're a bit more high risk. They're generally leveraged beneficially towards the exchange. But the reality here is putting in the spot account mean that trading bot services for select USDC pairs will go live for these. Some regions may not have access. You'll obviously have to check out what that is. But why is this therefore going to be important? Well, it announced that it will move 17 altcoins, of which one of those being Ondo Finance, as well as many others. And the transfer is scheduled for April 22nd. That is today. And the company warned that users will not be able to move tokens back to their alpha account once it starts. So some tokens may adopt a different name, but we do know that Ondo Finance will stay very much aligned to what it is. The exchange will also therefore allow trading bot services and again, people to get their spot accounts and transfer their cryptocurrency off there. Binance, obviously the biggest exchange in the world. This is a very, very bullish move for Ondo and shows some real conviction in what is going to happen. And again, watch out. You're going to see more and more exchanges start to list Ondo as people really understand what is going on. And we're seeing more of this RWA narrative. Yes, people seem to have gone quiet on it, but it's still very, very bullish indeed. And when you think about what Ondo Finance is bringing to the party and why it's so different to many others, you get announcements like this. The Ondo global market is going to allowing access to tokenized stocks and ETFs. Now, remember, these could be anything from the gold market, global markets, currency, whatever it is that can be either ETF or, like we said, put on the blockchain, then Ondo will do it. Investors will soon be able to access US securities 24/7, 365 without relying on legitimate indices, and the future is always and coming sooner than you think. That is such a big deal, allowing to buy 10-year treasuries, 20-year treasuries, secure your cryptocurrency, and much more, all through the power of Ondo Finance. And this is going to be very, very bullish indeed. They've also more recently had an announcement from the US Federal Reserve Chairman, remarks about growth of RWA and data points to a financial system increasingly woven with digital assets. If you haven't seen my Bitcoin update video, definitely go and check that out. That talks a little bit about traditional finance and decentralized finance and why it's becoming blurred between the two. More recently, we actually heard Gary Gensler giving his view on the market in that Bitcoin has a big amount of usage and many more will come to the fore. I actually think Ondo Finance will be one of those tokens in a few years' time, maybe the next cycle or the one after, that people will absolutely look as a basic standard when it comes to RWA or tokenizing of government assets. And I think this is going to be important. We know JP Morgan has tokenized GBP payments and Rails for corporate clients, and it's Clinex digital payment platform. And actually they're looking to bridge even further, again, looking for blockchain technology and assets to be tokenized. It's going to be a huge market. And that's why you've got things like Ondo and Sui booking the trend. In fact, Ondo closing in on a potential $1 price point. It's holding around 85 cents at this minute, but watch out. Positive moves in the market. Bitcoin retesting 90,000. Ondo will soon be back at $1. And as these tokenized assets start to come out, we're already looking at potentially ARC21 offering staking with Solana ETFs. Well, guess what? When we start getting into Ondo, where you could be even staking your tokenized assets, or you could be putting them to work and getting some of the revenue that's generated by holding some of these securities, or if you think of it this way, countries, institutions, and much more could be buying these. Remember, this is how the Fed turned those money printers on. I can't think of a better project right now to be best placed to facilitate all of that and to allow you, the cryptocurrency investor, to get into assets that you may generally not have looked at. Ondo Finance, in my opinion, however, looking incredibly bullish. And like I said, from a macro side of things, you've got to be pretty excited about what's coming. There's a lot of volume running through. There's a lot of excitement, but the market generally is just a little bit quiet. And what's best, Ondo's had a 75% correction, offering you a great opportunity to get in. Now, again, don't take my word from it, do your own research, but you would be naive to believe that Ondo, the first to the market, offering those RWA tokenized assets, especially on 10-year treasuries, and right back to what I said at the start of the video, 2025 is absolutely deemed as the biggest absolute delivery of tokenized assets and issuing of US securities yet. This could be incredibly bullish, not only for the market, interest rates, but those that get involved. And all of that will absolutely evolve around Ondo Finance. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let me know if you bought Ondo or do you think that ship has sailed. Is RWA a dying narrative? And as always, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.